To raise awareness for World AIDS Day, which happened on the 1st of December, Premier Alan Winde tested to support the initiative. Minister of Health Nomafrench Mbombo conducted the test.
So when it comes to the first 90, as I indicated, there's a 90 strategy. 90% of the people should be able to know their status through testing. The second 90 is about 90% of the people who have tested positive should be able to undergo treatment. The third 90 is about the 90% of the people should be viral suppressed. So what is important now for this first 90, you won't be able to go to treatment. You won't know whether you are viral suppressed unless we have tested. One of the challenges we have is not only about the testing, but it's about when people they test positive, they don't go for treatment immediately. They normally come very late, or those who have been initiated on treatment, they normally also default. That's why we have got various programs in various areas working with the NGOs. Professor Harry Hauser from the TB HIV Care Association, like here, where they can be able to track these patients so that they come back to the system. So what the Premier has shown now is about that anyone can go for the testing. A wise man knows his status. But I also must add that the South Africa now has got the National Minister of Health launched it yesterday. Now the one drug, that's this combination of the three drugs. So people now don't have to take all of these cocktail. There's one now where one can take just one and it's all combined. And it does assist when it comes to the viral suppression for people who are HIV positive in treatment.
We know how HIV and AIDS is transmitted. We know that specifically for me, which concerns me, is it's young women that are at risk. And so this is a call to men to say, please take responsibility, know your status. Because if we get that right, this program of 90-90-90 will really start to remove the risk of HIV and AIDS from people who really do not need to get it. This can be managed. People can manage this, and it takes responsibility. I think always it becomes an issue. I mean, even when you do your pre-screening, the questions that people get asked, these are difficult questions to ask people because it talks about your sex life. And you have different risks depending on your own behavior. So that's the one side of it. Then, of course, the stigma around having it. I think it definitely is much better than it used to be because obviously with the process of treatments, etc., it's not a death sentence anymore.
We're speaking about HIV and World AIDS Day activities. Really focus our attention on this really important issue. And one of the ways that we're fighting HIV is through the 90-90-90 strategy. So what that means is 90% of people who are living with HIV, who are already infected, should know their status. And then of those who know their status, at least 90% should be started on antiretroviral treatment, which is the life-saving medication that keeps people healthy to live a healthy, normal life. And then 90% of them should be virally suppressed. It means you can't see the virus anymore in the bloodstream. They're still infected, but because the medicines work so well, you don't actually see the virus when you take a blood sample. So that's called viral suppression. Self-testing is reliable. It's not quite as sensitive as the blood test. So the blood test is still the most sensitive, will pick up the most HIV.
For our City News, Bosiswa Mahonono, Cape Town.